Hi, so welcome to the Under Armour shoe review for 2021. Just going to go through the main models, the big sellers that will be in the range, and the ones that I'm stocking in the shop. Just talk about them, features and benefits, which ones I think are the best and you should maybe look at, and other things about them that maybe aren't 100% or don't understand why they've done them. Just a general look at the whole range. So the first one, if we look at, is the Hovr Drive. So Hovr Drive is this one here. They did pretty much this shoe last year, and I did a review of it before. It uses Clarino synthetic upper, which is like the softest synthetic upper you can get. So it's really breathable and looks and feels like leather. So it is a really nice shoe. It's sold pretty well. It's got the special spike system that they use to hold you in place when you're swinging. So some of the spikes are actually, I don't know if you can see there, are actually facing a certain way. These ones are facing the opposite way, and it's just designed to hold you, as I say, in position when you're actually swinging. A good shoe if you're at all worried about slipping. And that, I know, is something that some people have to think about. You know, if you've ever had an injury through playing golf, like if you're swinging yourself off your feet and actually pulled a muscle or something like that, then, you know, I know that some people don't like the thought of a molded sole. They want something that's just going to secure their feet and make sure they don't slip. And something with this kind of system, I haven't really seen anything better than that. So it's a really nice shoe, really comfortable, uses the Hovr foam, which puts energy back into your foot again. That's a bit like, you know, Nike Air technology that was trying to take the energy of you walking and then push it back up into the shoe so that you're less tired walking, you're more energy return as you put your foot down. What else do these have? Let's have a look. It's a wider fit. I find pretty much all of the Under Armours are quite a wide fit. Integrated lacing system. Yeah, it talks about the spike, the foot sole, the outsole, and that's kind of it. Last year this used Gore-Tex, and there's been some sort of issue with Gore-Tex and Under Armour this year. I'm not sure exactly the details, but they're not using it in any of their shoes. And I have a feeling that that will be remedied at some point in the future, but they are nevertheless still waterproof. I think it's just it's a year's guarantee with this, a year's guarantee with all of them, I think. And in terms of anything else you need to know about them, they are 337 grams for a UK, 359 grams actually for a UK 8. Which is the heaviest of the shoes that I'm going to talk about. You know, if I put that on, for example, just to give you an idea of sizing, I've done this before in my videos. Brand new pair of socks on for this video. FootJoy Tech Soft, nice sock. That's an 8, and I could wear that. I probably need 7.5. But it's not bad. It feels reasonably wide, as I say. It's probably wider than I would need. But it's a really solid, stable feeling shoe with a lot of cushioning in it as well. So it's a nice feel to it. Feels solid. It's good. It doesn't feel heavy. I mean, 359 grams is not heavy. So that's the Hovr Drive. The next one's down is the Show SL, that I do anyway, and that's 115. The Hovr Drive's about 125, so it's a little bit of a difference. Again, this used to use Gore-Tex last year. It's this one here. Actually, I use this one because I've got my sock off on the foot off on that one. So this is the Show SL. Again, waterproof warranty. Hovr outsole here. Synthetic upper, doesn't feel quite as soft as the Hovr Drive. Slightly more plasticky look to this one. It's got kind of a marled effect on here, which is and a quite distinctive sole kind of unit there, and a molded sole. I actually think it's a really good looking shoe, this. I mean, shoes are funny. Everybody's got strong opinions about what shoes look good and what shoes don't look good. I actually really like this, but I think that is pretty much the only reason you would pick this over the Fade SL, which is this one. I'll go into that, and that's quite a bit cheaper. It's weight-wise, we're coming in at 359 grams as well, so it's the same weight, and that's for UK8. That's the same drive, same as the Hovr Drive. So it's basically very similar to a Hovr Drive, but without the spikes and just a different look. But as I say, I think if you like that look, then it's not a horrendously expensive shoe, and it feels and looks a bit more sturdy potentially than the Hovr Fade, but really in terms of build and materials that they use, not a lot different for 115. But I do like it. I think it's a really good shoe. I'll just stick it on, see what it feels like. This is again well, it's actually a UK 7.5, so this is the one that should fit me. This is what I was thinking of ending up getting. But we'll see. Yeah, it's similar. It's a similar feel to the Hovr Drive. Maybe not, possibly not quite as soft feeling, or am I just imagining that? I'll just quickly stick that Hovr Drive back on again. Yeah, might have been imagining that. I think it's pretty similar. Possibly feels a wee bit softer, the Hovr Drive. Yeah, possibly. I don't know whether it's to do with the fact you've actually got spikes on them and they almost slightly give when you walk into the surface. Just put it on again, back to back. Show SL again. It's possibly to do with the spikes, because it's a different feel. It's a flatter feel, obviously, when you put it down, because you're not raised up by the spikes, because you've just got the molded sole. So quite similar feeling. It's only a 10 or less. So a 10 or less for not having spikes. So it probably is pretty similar shoe. I quite like the sole unit. I think that looks really good. It's going to get mud, dirt and grass on it, so it doesn't really matter, but it's always nice to see when you buy them. And it just feels and looks even slightly better than it did last year. Yeah, that's the Fade SL sole unit, and if you see them back to back, that's maybe where you might be paying for a wee bit of difference. This just feels on the Show SL a little bit more solid and sturdy, and like it's possibly a little bit harder wearing. So that might be where some of your money's going. But yeah, I like the Show SL, and there's another colour. I think it's a white. So I'll try and show you that on the screen. We are on to Forge RC, which is, I think, something to do with a kind of retro look for when Under Armour started, and going back to that kind of look that they had when they kicked off, when the business started, basically. So it's 105 breathable microfiber and textile upper with never wet treatment to keep you cool and dry. So I was trying to find out about never wet treatment, but I couldn't really find anything out about it. It sounds like a spray to me that goes on almost like a Teflon spray, which then keeps the water out, and the material in itself isn't actually properly waterproof. It feels like a mesh, but it doesn't feel like one of those knitted meshes. It feels like it's got a good chance of keeping water out. It does have a waterproof warranty again with it. Better check that actually. So even though it says never wet on it, it's the only one of the boxes that doesn't actually say 1 year waterproof warranty. So I don't know if they're quite as confident that this is going to keep you completely as dry as the other ones. Although, does this never wet thing? Breathable microfiber and textile upper with never wet treatment to keep you cool and dry. So it sounds, I think you're going to have a good chance. They just maybe can't say it's 100% waterproof because of that, because it's a treatment rather than actually a membrane, or specifically the actual material doesn't let water droplets through but lets heat out. Incidentally, these synthetic materials, I wore Fade SL pretty much all last year, and it's very breathable. I get quite hot feet and I never had an issue with them. So the new synthetic materials might not be leather, but they basically act like leather without all the hassle of trying to keep them supple and in good condition. You can just do whatever you want with them. You can wash them with fairy liquid if you want to. So the Forge RC, there's a bit about the Ortholite insole in here. I wonder if I can get it out. It does come out. It's an Ortholite sock liner, and the Ortholite thing is all about being cooler, drier, moving moisture away. If I can get it out. It didn't come out very easily. Hang on, I'll get this. Oh, that's why it didn't come out very easily. So it's long term, it compresses less than 5%, so it stays the same the whole life of the shoe. And you can wash it, and it's breathable. It takes moisture away. It's a really good addition to the shoe. That washing it thing's a good idea, which I've never actually done. Because when shoes do start to get a wee bit niffy, if you wear them a lot, that's not a bad idea, because that would just basically take it all away, or most of the smell away, I would think. And you can keep wearing them without fear of stinking the place out. That's got that nice, harder wearing feel sole, just the same as the Show SL had. And in terms of style, when I first saw it, I didn't really like it. I know there's a black one as well. I'll put that up on the screen. And it's kind of growing on me. It's got a sort of retro kind of trainer look. Sort of techie sort of look and feel. I've never actually tried them on. I'm not sure I would choose these, but each to his own. Yeah. Yeah, they're all right. They're actually better than I thought. They look quite wide on my foot. I prefer to have like a slightly thinner shoe, because generally wear quite thin trousers. So a massive big boat shaped shoe at the bottom never looks very good with that. So that looks good. I don't mind it. It's really light feeling. That's the one thing you notice over the other two. What weight is that? That's 337 grams in an 8.5, so it's lighter than the other two. The first two, they were 359. The 337 to 359. So yeah, and you do notice it. Feels softer. Feels really sort of flexible as well. You've still got the Hovr sole unit in there, which is really very well cushioned. It's a great material that they've come up with there. So yeah, good shoe. Got a slight debate about how waterproof that's going to be, but yeah, I mean, it says never wet, so you would think never wet might stand a chance of being never wet. And then we're on to Fade SL, which I've done before, and it hasn't changed since last year. It's 85 quid, so it's the lowest or thereabouts, the cheapest of the the sort of mainstream Under Armour. I think there are ones that are cheaper than that, but this is going to be kind of the bread and butter one. This is the one I actually ended up wearing last year. I usually used to always go, when you're in this sort of business, you always kind of take the top shoe. But the last few years, I've not bothered doing that. But I thought actually, I end up wearing them for about a year, and then at the most, and then a new pair comes out, and you go for those. So I thought I'll just wear what I need, and I needed a pair of white shoes, and I think I had a pair of black shoes. I think I got super lights in grey and black as well. But But I got white ones of these, and I was really impressed with them. And I never felt like I was wearing a budget shoe. I never felt like you were sort of somehow embarrassed that you had the lower one in the range. It just looks like an Under Armour shoe. When you put them up against each other, you don't really know which one is massively more expensive than the other. They all look round about the same, and it, as I say, was breathable. It was really well cushioned. It was just generally a nice shoe to wear, and I never felt like I was getting wet in it either. It's got a 1-year waterproof warranty. It comes in at 296 grams. So it's actually lighter than my old workhorse, the super light XP, which is still in the range for this year, 2021. That is 296 grams. Have I got a left foot? No, I don't have a left foot. Let's put this on again, just see. So that, I wouldn't have said immediately that was lighter than the FootJoy. But let's put it on and see what it is. This is a UK 8. Looks smaller. No, it isn't. I need a 7.5. I would be careful generally. I've said this in my last Under Armour video about shoes, that they're bigger than you think. Unless you've had them before and you know your size, fine, crack on. But be careful ordering them, if you're ordering them online, and maybe just err on the size of half a size down if you're not sure. Because, I mean, I've been through this before, but I used to take a 9 and I'm now down to 7.5, so I don't know what's going on. Either my foot's shrinking or shoe sizes are getting kind of bigger, I don't know. So that, I'm used to that, but yeah, it is nice and light. It's not got the same feel as the Superlight XP, but that's for another discussion. That's got a sort of trainery feel. This feels slightly more supportive than that. They're all pretty supportive feeling. You know, the Forge RC one felt the least supportive of the lot, but it still had a reasonable feel of, yeah, no, it's actually quite solid. For a soft, sort of unstructured kind of feeling shoe, there's actually still quite a lot of a feel of stability in that. Yeah, that feels good. It feels like it's going to be the most breathable out of the lot, to be honest. So if you've got an issue with hot feet, I think that might be your answer. So I would say in conclusion that Fade SL is still up there with one of the best value shoes you can buy. And if I was picking one out of the range, I would still say that that's the one to go for. It comes in navy, which is different this year. It's good to see a navy for a change. Goes well with grey, it's got that little grey touch on it, and navy and probably khaki and stuff like that will actually go with, so reasonably easy to match. I wouldn't wear it with black. The white as usual, and then the grey, which grey is a brilliant colour for golf shoes. I really do. I think it's the best colour for golf shoes because it goes with black, it goes with anything, it goes with navy even. I know it's got like black trim, but you get away with it with navy, it looks fine. And doesn't get dirty. So it's just a little bit of a lighter look than just a big black shoe, but it doesn't get really dirty. But even though these things are easy to clean and maintain, you don't have to worry about it, you just wash it off with anything. White still goes a little bit. You're fighting a losing battle with white, to be honest. So yeah, it's a good range. There are some other ones in the range, but these are the ones that I think are going to do the best and will sell the most. I did like that. I thought I was going to like Show SL the best, but for 115 as opposed to 85, I'm not seeing enough of a difference there in the feel of it. If it's heavier, yeah, I don't know that it doesn't feel really much more supportive. I just quite like the look of it. but they could have quite easily made that one look like this, I think. Hovr Drive, the Clarino material looks good, feels good, but again, it's whether you want to pay the extra. I think the spikes is more the thing to think about there. And then that one's just your kind of retro trainer, and probably the best if you want something that's breathable. So that'll probably do us. Thanks for watching if you got this far. I'm always impressed if anyone gets this far. And subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and do the bell thing so you get notifications about other videos I'm doing. I'm planning to do quite a few, get around to it, and get my knee better so I can actually do some swing ones as well, because I hurt my knee jumping off a fence, forgot how old I was. But yeah, thanks very much. I'll see you in the next one.